Welcome to Lesson 5, and this is all about hyperbola, our last conic section. Let us first define hyperbola. A hyperbola is the set of all points on the plane, the absolute value of the difference of whose distances from the two fixed points is a constant. Okay, suppose we have this figure. Ayan, ganito ang itsura ng hyperbola. According to the definition, the distance of a point, itong black point, yung distance daw niya from the first focus to the distance of this, yan, pag pinag-minus daw natin yung absolute value nila, ay same lang sa distance ng point na ito, yan, from here, minus distance from here, constant lang daw yon. And this blue point, ang tawag natin dito ay foci. Alright, deriving the formula or the equation rather of the hyperbola. Suppose we have point P at xy and the two foci is located at negative C0 and C0. So according to the definition, the distance of P to F or the first focus minus the absolute value of the distance of P to the second focus is equal to 2A. Now, using the distance formula, di na natin masyadong i-elaborate. Distance formula, we will arrive here. X squared over A squared minus Y squared over B squared equals 1. So you see the difference from the ellipse. Sa ellipse ay plus. Now, hyperbola is minus. Sum sa ellipse, difference kay hyperbola. Now, if you're interested with the derivation of the equation, ayan, eto siya. Okay? Now, let us look at the properties of a hyperbola whose center is at the origin. We have the equation x squared over a squared minus y squared over b squared equals 1. Paano natin malalaman si A? A is always positive. Si B ay laging after ng minus. Okay? Our vertices is at A0, negative A0. And then, meron tayong tinatawag na transverse axis. So, ito yung line kung saan dadaan yung line segment joining the vertices. Okay, plot natin yung ating vertices. We have negative A0 and A0. So, ito yung line segment joining the vertices. Now, transverse axis is the y equals 0 or the x-axis. This one. Yan. Kasi doon dumaan yung ating line segment joining the vertices. Next, the conjugate axis. So, ito naman yung line na kung saan doon dadaan yung line segment joining 0B and 0 negative B. So, if we have these 2 points, 0B and 0 negative B, ito yung line segment joining these 2 points, then our conjugate axis is the x equals 0 or the y-axis. So, ito naman, si y-axis naman. Yan, yung kahabaan yan. Next, the foci. We still use C, but this time, C squared is equal to A squared plus B squared. So, wag malilito kay ellipse at parabola. Diba yun ay C squared equals A squared minus B squared. So, dito naman ay C squared equals A squared plus B squared. So, yan si foci. Next, directrices. Meron pa rin tayong directrices. And we still have the formula plus minus A squared over C na andyan siya. Siyempre, pagka i-compute nyo na yung values, madidetermine nyo na saan siya nakalagay. And then, the asymptote. So, ang asymptote, ito ay line defined by y equals plus minus b over a x. Or simply, ito yung mas madaling paraan, gagawa kayo ng box na magjo-join sa ating vertices at yung sa ating sa may conjugate axis. Yan. Gawa kayo ng box dyan. And then, ang asymptote ay yung line na ito. Okay? Di ba sabi natin pag asymptote, ito yung line na kung saan papalapit yung graph natin pero never magta-touch. So, anong itsura ng paraan ng hyperbola natin? Ganyan. Okay, so ang magsisilbing guide ninyo ay si asymptote. Example tayo. Okay, suppose we have x squared over 16 minus y squared over 9 equals 1. Since ang ating x ang naka-positive, so this is a is equal to 4, and then b is equal to 3. By the way, kapag pala si a ay nakay x, not necessarily mas malaki si A, basta siya yung positive at naka-X siya, left, right tayo. Now, kapag Y naman, kapag nasa kanya naman si positive, ano naman tayo? Up and down. So, dito muna tayo sa first example. Our vertices, 4, 0 at negative 4, 0. And then, the transverse axis is the line segment joining our vertices. Ayan. Ito si transverse axis. Si Y equals 0. Ngayon, gumagamit lang muna ako ng line segment para makita ninyo kung hanggang saan kayo gagawa ng inyong box para sa asymptote. Conjugate axis ay plus minus b. So, 0, 3 at 0, negative 3. Yan. Next, the foci. Paano po kinocompute si foci? We have a squared plus b squared. This is 16 plus 9, 25. Therefore, C is equal to 5. No. 5, 0, negative 5, 0. Andyan siya. Next, the directrices. Let us compute. Sabi, ang formula daw ay a squared over c. Ang a squared natin ay 16. Ang c natin ay 5. Now, dividing, magkakaroon tayo ng 3.3. So, positive and negative 3.3. Yan. X equals positive, negative 3.3. Next, asymptote. The asymptote ay b over a. So, that is b, 3 over a, which is 4. So, 3/4. Now, gawa muna tayo ng box doon sa ating mga red line. Ayan, hanggang doon yung gagawa natin ng box. And then, draw, cross. So, yan yung magsisilbing guide para sa ating hyperbola. At yan, si y equals negative 3/4 x at si y equals 3/4 x. And our hyperbola is, ayan. Okay, di ba? Madali lang. Basta ma-identify natin si A, B, C, and we have to use the formula. Madali naman siya kasi may pattern naman tayong tinitingnan. Okay. Now, what if si y, yung positive. So, we have y squared over a squared minus x squared over b squared equals 1. Mababaliktad na, Our vertices now is at 0a and 0 negative a. And our transverse axis now is the y-axis. Kasi nandito na yung ating vertices. Patayo na siya. Next, conjugate axis. So, positive, negative, b0. Or nasa x-axis siya. Ayan. Next, foci. Ganun pa rin si foci. Naandyan. Lagi nyo tatandaan, si foci at si vertices ay naka-align lagi. Next, directrices. Ganun pa rin. Pero ang gagamitin natin ay y equals. So, naandito siya. And then, the asymptote is y equals a over b x. Ganun pa rin nun. Gagawa pa rin kayo ng box. And then, intersecting line. But, ang ating hyperbola now ay up and down. Yan. Ito. Okay? Okay, example. Y squared over 9 minus x squared over 16 equals 1. Our vertices, sige, identify muna pala natin what is A. Hindi porke 16 yung mas malaki ay 4 ang A natin. Hindi, dun tayo sa positive. So, ang ating A ay 3, ang ating B ay 4. So, our vertices is at 0, A, and 0, negative A. So, 0, 3, and 0, negative 3. Ito siya. Transverse axis is the y-axis. So, ayan. Next, conjugate axis. So, magagaling naman siya kay B. Plot muna natin si B0 at negative B0. So, ayan. We have negative 4, 0 and 4, 0. So, our conjugate axis is the x-axis. Foci. Compute for the foci. We have a squared plus b squared. This is, 3 pala to. This is 9 plus 16, 25. Therefore, C is equal to 5. Kaya 0, 5, and 0, negative 5. There. Next, directrices. Sige nga, a squared. Ang a squared natin ay 9. 9 over C. Our C is 5. So, kapag dinivide nyo siya, 9 divided by 5, we have 1.8. So, y equals positive, negative 1.8. Ayan siya. I-ano nyo na lang. I-tansya nyo na lang sa inyong mga graphing paper. Yan na, known y. Ito yung y positive, and then y negative. Directrices line ito, ha? Next, asymptote. A over B. Ito pala, kung mapapansin nyo kanina, noong x ang positive natin, B over A ang asymptote. So, this time, kapag si y, ay A over B ang ating asymptote. Pero same pa rin siya ng pagkuha, Create the box. Ayan, joining the vertices and yung ating B sa may conjugate axis. And then you create an intersecting line. At gaya ng sabi ko, dahil y ang positive, so up and down tayo. Ayan. Ayan. Okay. What if the center is at HK? So, wala na siya sa origin. Ganun pa rin, gaya ng sabi ko, iipod lang tayo. Our vertices, from the center, ipod tayo ng A unit. Ayan. Line segment joining the transverse axis. Y equals K na tayo. Makikita nyo later. Ayan. Next, conjugate axis, B units from the center. So, ito naman siya. And then, the foci. Ganun pa rin ang ating computation. C units from the center. Nandyan. Directrices, H plus minus A squared over C. And the asymptote, ganun pa rin naman siya. Gawa ka pa rin ng box. And then, the intersecting lines. So, our hyperbola, this one. Okay? Sige, dun tayo sa example. We have x minus 2 squared over 9 minus y plus 2 squared over 16 equals 1. So, our center is at 2, negative 2. Saan po galing yun? H, K. Yan. Identify ulit natin. H equals 2, K equals negative 2, A equals 3, B equals 4. Ayan. So, our vertices, plot lang natin. 2 plus 3, and then negative 2. Kaya ito ay 5, negative 2. 2 minus 3, negative 2. 2 minus 3, negative 1, and then negative 2. Plot natin siya. Ayan. Ma'am, bakit po naging y equals negative 2 si transverse axis. Kasi di ba, ito si negative 2. Ayan. So, ang transverse axis natin ay this line. Pero hindi na natin siya nilalagay sa graph. Importante lang nating makita yung ating mga vertices. Next, conjugate axis. So, conjugate axis naman. H, 2. Ang k natin ay negative 2. Plus muna tayo ha. Plus b. Our b is 4. So, this is 2. Negative 2 plus 4 is positive 2. Kaya ito yan. Now, sa minus naman tayo. 2. Negative 2 minus 4. So, this is 2. Negative 6. Kaya negative 6 to. Ayan. Okay? Foci. Computing for the foci, ganun ulit, a squared. A squared is 9 plus 16. This is 25. Therefore, C is equal to 5. So, H plus C. Our H is 2 plus 5. And then K is negative 2. 2 plus 5 is 7 over 7. And copy negative 2. Next, 2 minus 5, negative 2. 2 minus 5, this is negative 3 and negative 2. Yan. Okay, so far malinaw. Sundan nyo lang yung ating mga formula. Next, directrices. H. Ang H natin ay 2. Ang H natin ay 2. Ang A natin ay, ang A squared natin ay 9. Ang C natin ay 5. So, isa-isahin natin, This is 2. Ang 9 over 5 ay 1.8. So, this is 2 plus minus 1.8. So, doon muna tayo sa plus. 2 plus 1.8 is 3.8. This one. And then 2 minus 1.8 is 0.2. Okay? And the last one, the asymptote. So, dito, plug in nyo lang, So, this is negative 2, kaya naging plus 2. Ang B natin ay 4, ang A natin ay 3, ang H natin ay 2. Ayan. So, ito lang din yun. No need to simplify. Pero, yung pagkuha ng asymptote sa graph, ganun pa rin. Gawa ka ulit ng box. And then, the intersecting line. And, wow! Ayan. Our hyperbola. Balik ta rin naman natin. Si y naman si positive. Kasi nasa kanya si a squared. Y minus k squared over a squared minus x minus h squared over b squared equals 1. Vertices, k units from the center. So, ang magagalaw naman dito ay yung ating y. Ganyan pa din, Ayan. Transverse axis now is the x equals h. Conjugate axis. So, b units from the center. Foci, C units from the center. Up, down naman yun, Directrices, this is y equals k plus minus a squared over c. And then the asymptote. Yan. Susundan nyo na lang yung ating formula para hindi kayo nahihirapan. And through practice, mamememorize nyo na sila. Through practice. Okay. Tandaan nyo na lang, basta asymptote, siya yung magiging guide natin, kung hanggang, or kung gaano kalaki yung buka ng ating hyperbola. Example, laging ang given natin ay ganito, A equals 4, and B equals 3. Again, H equals negative 2, and K equals 2. Example, the vertices, again, H, this is negative 2. Our K is 2 plus 4. Kaya, 6. And then, negative 2. 2 minus 4. This is negative 2. So, there. Next. Conjugate. h. H is negative 2 plus b. Our k is 2. So this is 1, 2. Next, negative 2 minus 3, 2. This is negative 5, 2. There. Next, the foci, C units. Again, C is 5. Plug in lang natin. Negative 2. Our K is 2 plus 5. 2 plus 5 is 7. Next, negative 2. 2 minus 5. 2 minus 5 is negative 3. Okay. Next, directrices. K. Our K is 2. Our A squared is 16. And our C is 5. 16 divided by 5 is 3.2. So 3 plus 3.2 is 5.2. And 2 minus 3.2, this is negative 1.2. Okay, so those are our directrices. And the last one, the asymptote, plug in lang natin si value, si K, si A, si B, at si H. Gawa ng box, intersecting line, and our hyperbola is opening up and down. Yan. Okay. If you have more questions, no, chat lang kayo o kaya ay balik-balikan nyo lang lagi yung ating mga example. Kasi this is a very good guide para makapag-graph kayo ng hyperbola. Now, let us go to conversion of equations. Let's convert the standard form to general form. We are given with y minus 2 squared over 16 equals x plus 2 squared over 9 equals 1. So just like ellipse, our first goal is to eliminate all the denominator. And how do we do that? Okay, we have to multiply everything by its LCD. And what is our LCD? 144. Multiply natin lahat kay 144. 144 times y minus 2 squared over 16 minus 144 times x plus 2 squared over 9 equals 144 times 1. 144 divided by 16, this is 9 times y minus 2 squared. 144 divided by 9 is 16 times x plus 2 squared equals 144 times 1 is 144. Now, expand. Expand y minus 2 squared. This is y squared minus 4y plus 4 minus 16. Expand x plus 2 squared. X squared plus 4x plus 4 equals 144. Now, distribute 9. We have 9y squared minus 36y plus 36 minus 16x squared. 16 times 4, 64x minus 64. And by addition property of equality, we can write minus 144 equals 0. Now, simplify. Iayos na natin according to the general form. Ano? So, unahin natin yung x squared. We have negative 16x squared. And then the y squared, 9y squared. And then the x, negative 64x. The y, negative 36y. And then simplify all the constants. 36 minus 64 minus 144 is negative 172. This is the general form of the equation. Another example. Nauna yung mas mahaba. y squared over 4 equals x squared over 16 equals 1. Again, multiply everything by the LCD. What is our LCD? 16. So we have 16 times y squared over 4 minus 16 times x squared over 16 equals 16 times 1. So this is 4y squared, 1, so x squared equals 16. And by addition property of equality, we have y squared minus x squared minus 16 equals 0. Okay. Now, let's move to conversion from general to standard. Okay, we are given with 4x squared minus y squared plus 2y minus 5 equals 0. So, first is rearrange yung terms according to the variable na kasama. Sama-sama lahat ng may x, sama-sama lahat ng may y. We have 4x squared minus y squared plus 2y, and by addition property of equality, pwede natin gawing equals positive 5. Next, completing the squares, lalabas ko si negative 1, so may iwan dito ay y squared minus 2y. Ma'am, bakit 2y? Plus y po ito Kasi nga, finactor out natin si negative 1. So, negative times negative is positive 2y. So, plus blank equals 5. Ano po yung nasa blank? Okay, positive 1. Pero dito, plus negative 1. Huwag nyo kalilimutan kasi meron tayong negative 1 na naka-factor out kanina. Simplify. 4x squared minus, factor natin to. This is y minus 1 squared. And 5 plus negative 1 is 4. Now, kung matatandaan ninyo, ang hyperbola ay equals 1. So, kailangan maging 1 yung ating right side. So, we have to divide everything by 4. We have x squared minus y minus 1 squared over 4 equals 1. So, this is the standard form. Sige nga, tingnan nga natin. Ano ang center niya? HK. Okay, 0, 1. Ano? Ano ang A? Yes, 1. Ito yan, over 1. Ang ating B is 2. This is opening, left, and right. Another one. 9x squared minus 4y squared minus 24y minus 72 equals 0. So again, combine natin yung mga terms na with x at yung mga terms na with y. We have 9x squared minus 4y squared minus 24y equals 72. By addition property of equality. 9x squared. Factor out natin si negative 4 this time. Pwede na kasi siya. Y squared minus, this is plus 6y plus blank equals 72. Ano po ang nawawala? Okay, 9. Pero dito ay 36. Plus negative 36. So, nilagay ko na lang ay minus 36. 9x squared minus 4. Factor natin. This is y plus 3 squared equals 36. 36. And dividing all terms by 36 para maging equal sa 1, 9 over 36 is to. And this is y plus 3 over 9 equals 1. Sige nga, anong center natin? Ang center natin ay 0, -3. Our A is 2. Our B is 3. Okay. Again, thank you and see you on your next lesson.